you know what? All right, let's go into tech. And just very quickly, we're gonna talk about Tesla. So Tesla's
Mm.
long-awaited Cybertruck is finally ready for production. I don't know if you guys have seen you've all seen the Cybertruck, right? You know how it looks, like
Yeah. Yeah.
the silver metal, um what's the word, cyberpunk kind of look to it, very futuristic like that.
Mm.
So
Bulletproof.
is it bulletproof? I heard it was
Yeah, man.
bulletproof
9mm bulletproof, apparently.
Yeah.
because I know
Did you
that
not see the video of him?
throwing that ball.
Yeah. But you
um
know what I heard? Like apparently, I think it might have actually been like Joe Rogan that was saying this. He basically said like he's pretty sure that was like plans.
for
Like
marketing
that was,
purposes.
yeah, for marketing purposes. Like it broke, and then
Possible.
he was like, "Oh, we'll fix that," and he will.
Yeah, of course.
He'll
Yeah,
sort it out.
of course.
You know, like,
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah. So I think they said it's like there's two groups of people. There's people that love him. There's people that hate him.
Right.
The people that love him are going to be like, of course he's going to fix it, no
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
The people that hate him are going to be blasting him all over. Oh, look at this, look at what he's doing. But all of that marketing he's getting, man.
Free.
And
For
now,
free.
yeah,
I
free
feel
marketing.
it was great that it broke, but what I heard was apparently
Great, both.
because they were stress testing it before the show,
Oh, that's true.
maybe because they were banging on it pretty hard as well to make sure
Yeah.
that it breaks now rather than later.
Right.
But it still broke.
But imagine it broke then though, and then broke up, and it just doesn't have a window. It's just broken.
Yeah.
So a report from Electric said that Tesla is now ordering parts for the long-delayed electric vehicle. So, bro, time has gone by so quickly. So they that whole thing when they threw the ball and it broke. That whole conference was in 2019.
Yeah.
It was in 2019, and the expectation was that it was going to be available by 2021. We're now in 2023.
I see.
That's a good time, bro.
Slight delays.
Slight delays. Well, to be fair, we'll give them some bly, because 2020 was pandemic season, so we'll say that's probably what happened there. So production was pushed back because of that. But by the late 2022, so last year, it was estimated that pre-sales reached 1.5 million units. Units, like
I
trucks.
thought you were gonna say dollars.
No, units. Oh, way more than dollars. What? 1.5?
Yeah, I thought, man, that's kind of low. 1.5 million units.
I don't think they've.
Wow.
I don't think they've. I don't think they've released like a price. I don't know. I could be wrong in that. But if listen, if you don't mind googling for me the price of the Ford Rivian, I think it's called the Rivian, the electric truck, you would assume that the Cybertruck is probably around that price point, more or less, and then you can just multiply that by 1.5 million and see where you land at.
Let's do the calculations. So the first thing I'm seeing here, it says starting at 74,800. I don't even think that's new.
That's probably base model, yeah. So yes, 1.5.
No, trucks are pretty expensive in America.
Oh,
Go up to
100%.
100K, but that's regular. That's average. 100K for a truck in America is average.
How long? How many did you say?
1.5 million. Numbers don't even go that high, right? It says error in it.
1.5 million. How do we do that?
Well, we can just do the quick math real quick. It would be like $11 million. It will be like $11 million. 3.5. It will be like 11-12 million dollars if that was the base price. You can probably make the assumption that it will probably be a little bit more because of the design and the features, because apparently it's supposed to last. It has a 500-mile range on the truck in itself, on the battery.
battery
That's
capacity. Yeah.
that's crazy. 500 miles is crazy. And the more like obviously in the future more of these charging points are gonna be up and all these type of things. So 500 miles isn't even gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Like that would be that at some point that would be even too much. Then they'll just have
So I
to.
don't know if I've done the correct calculations here. I feel like I have, but I've got 1 billion.
Oh, sorry,
One
I did it wrong. Yeah, it'll be like 1 billion. Yeah.
1,122
Yeah.
million.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Wow. And
Yeah.
that's pre-order.
Just
So far, and now the
pre-sales.
hype is coming back.
Just the pre-sales.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pre-sales.
Yeah. And you don't know, obviously, like, we don't know, like, we don't know how many of that pre-sales actually become sales themselves and
Yeah,
all these
yeah.
type of things. But, I mean, the argument here is that they say that the more different types, because before like the Rivian and all these type of things, like electric vehicles have normally just been like sedans, like small cars and all these type of things. And they say that the more, the more different types of cars there are, types of electric vehicles are out there, the more, different people would want to buy them. Because not many, some people do like the idea of a truck, some people do like the idea of a SUV, but currently there isn't options for those. So, they're not really into that.
Yeah, man. One thing I saw recently, kind of in relation to this, like I imagine the future, and like in movies and stuff, you got the future, everything looks like high tech and like modern and it's like simplistic. And I saw something recently that said, like simplicity is like making everything look the same. Like before, you used to go like to a home, the doorbell had a pattern. Like everything had like a personality kind of thing. Like even if you look at like in the UK, like the UK is like known for like its telephone boxes and
Yeah.
like things like that, right? They have like personality. And everything now being like simplified and like being minimalistic is taken away from the personality of everything,
Right,
which
right.
is very interesting.
But just going quickly back into the article, so yeah. So one of the advantages of having different types of EV is obviously more people would then buy EVs because the cars or the vehicles that they like are available in the EV, which means then like the prices of electric vehicles go down because you have more competition in the market. So they become more affordable. So the more people are buying them, the less we use gas and all these type of things. And there comes this sort of like domino effect that at the end of it just means it's better for the earth. And it's like better for like pollution and removing pollution and all these things. It says here actually that according to Statista, passenger cars put about 3.3 billion tons of carbon pollution into the atmosphere in 2020. I don't know what that number means. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
like,
I
what
don't know.
about
I don't know if
10
that's a lot, but since it's in the article, I'm gonna assume it's a lot. Like billion sounds like it's a lot.
Yeah.
If you told me like this beach has 1 billion grains of sand, what's that though? Like that doesn't really mean
Yeah.
anything. But I don't
Is that
know.
a big beach? Is that just a deep, small beach? Like,
Exactly.
what is that?
Exactly.
Isn't it?
Sorry. Go on.
Isn't it time for people to realize that EV cars is not really saving the planet? For now, it's just having this new tech. Really, it shouldn't really. For people need to stop thinking that EV cars are saving the planet.
But why? I know why, but you tell me why.
No, we know why, which is the main issue that everyone really knows about, which is batteries. Unless someone invents a battery where it's so easy to make, that basically has no emissions, then yes. But otherwise, making a lithium ion battery is very bad in for the air, the same as a petrol or diesel car.
Well, but
Not
here's the
the
thing.
same.
Here's the thing
Actually,
though.
more.
Here's the thing though. Whilst you are right, Tesla, from what I've read, is actually very good with that. In that, the main thing with making a lithium battery is the main issue with it is the cobalt. The cobalt
Yeah,
is very
yeah,
difficult to mine, and it's almost unethical the way they mine it. Actually, the way they mine all the elements for the batteries is like you can make a very unethical argument for them. But in terms of Tesla, though, what I've read, their batteries don't have cobalt.
yeah.
So I don't know, man. But I think, this is such a to me. This
One
is
great thing that Tesla does is offset the carbon emissions. So
yeah,
using solar panels, making their own power. Apparently,
Kinetic energy from the wheels and
yeah,
stuff.
one mega factory can provide their own needs for electricity, and if they want, they can also share it.
mm,
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 yeah, yeah. I mean, he's leading the revolution, or trying to anyway. And I think people are just kind of tagging along, like with electric cars, and maybe
yeah,
they're not doing it in the best way. But at the end of the day, like if this is the direction that we're going in, it's a whole like culture shift. It's like changing everything. The
right,
whole infrastructure of energy is going to change because of this.
right,
Um, and that's the hope. That's the goal. Like they're
right,
hoping to change everything so that like you can't generate renewable gas or like renewable petrol. You
yeah.
can generate renewable electricity. You can't generate renewable petrol. So yeah, this is where we're going.
Right.
But also the convenience, brother. Like, if you think about it, you won't be as free anymore. You won't be as convenient anymore. If you drive an electric car, even though it's so futuristic, I think it requires more of your attention than it would for a petrol or diesel car.
But I think that's an issue for now, though, because I think we're still in the baby stages of everything. But I think
Mm.
Yeah.
as these things become more ubiquitous and more common, I think at some point it will be a non-issue, especially with things like
Yeah,
charging points and all these things. I think there's so much more to actually. We'll have this conversation in the future because I don't want to drag this out and go off on too much of a tangent. But there is such a thing as there is some issues that I think we're heading towards in regards to electric vehicles and all these type of things. Yeah, the thing that made it for me was there was a man riding. There's a CCTV video of a man riding an electric bike, and he was riding it, and then it ran out of like money, because you know how you rent them.
Mm.
It ran out, and then it just
Uh,
stopped. It just stopped.
wow.
Like you know how when you do a front brake, it just stopped,
Yeah.
and he just flew. You just flew over, right? So I have this very, 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 very weird feeling that in the future, if something just stops, oh, you'll just be stuck on the road then. That's it. You haven't paid something, you just not be able to use it. Or to even to a point
Yeah.
where the car would just be like, you have to get out. You haven't paid. Get out. If you don't move, we'll call the police. That type thing. And then
So
once
are you saying leasing a car would be dangerous?
but listen to this though. Once they leave the car will self-drive itself to the warehouse until you've paid whatever it is that you needed to pay. Bro, like
Well, like you have
Self
like a payment plan
possession.
on the
yeah,
car. You pay
yeah,
like monthly,
yeah,
and then if
yeah.
you don't make your payment, the car
Nope.
just like leaves you.
Bye, get out the
Wow,
car. Like it will just even at night, it will just drive itself back to the warehouse.
that's really interesting because now if you owe money, one of the things they'll send like bailiffs to your house. They'll knock on the door. They might take stuff in the home to pay off whatever it is that you like owe. But now they can just take the car back, and man.
Oh yeah.
And I actually see that becoming a rule. Like the car just doesn't belong to you anymore, and it will just drive off. Like you have it plugged in, it will unplug itself and just leave. Like you'll wait until it has enough charge, and then it will charge itself if it's far away, and then
Yeah.
it will keep going, and then it will be like, "Yo, I'm back, man."
Yeah, no more red notices, no more final warnings. No, what you just go.
Mm.
Khalas. It's over. So just last question before we move on from the topic. If you could afford it, would you purchase the Cybertruck today?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I would. Man, that's a cool looking
Would
truck. I think that's I
man.
don't even know about the features. I'm sure the features are great, but man, that just looks so just to own it. I'll probably get bored of it after a bit. Like, but
Bro,
just
you gotta think
man, it
about
looks
how
so
much
cool.
you just stand out though, innit? Like you're just like driving randomly. Like, first of all, you can't even have that
Yeah.
car in London. That's facts. It won't fit nowhere. But
Yeah.
but like if you're like, for example, in the US just driving it, or like in the freeway, for example, bro, like you just stand out, bro. It's so aerostreamed as well, dynamic. Like, bro, like I can
It
see
is a car that's out of place.
I can
Yeah.
see people like vandalizing your car, bro. Like, what are you doing here,
Yeah.
bro? Here's a like on your door, like just for that.
You're gonna have to bleep that out.
No, we don't have to bleep that. We don't have to bleep that out.